banned away already. The Zyra and the Misfortune banned away by Weibo, knowing exactly where they need to hit.
Now hear me out. The third ban in game number 2 was Nidalee. Now after Leyan's Nidalee, I'm really scared of leaving the Nidalee open right here because you can take other picks such as the Rumble away right here and not give it over to Shanji, who had an incredible game number 2. Is going to be the case. Now NIP, do you take the Misfortune away or the Zeri that has been defining the entire series?
Zeri is literally 100% win
neither.
rate. Yeah, and honestly, I would not be shocked if Weibo go ahead and grab that pick here for themselves in one of the 2 choices they have at this first phase. That Renekton, though, gives a lot of strength to Shanji in the 1v1.
That makes so much sense. I feel like every single team that's picked the Zeri so far was able to pick up a W2. And Weibo Gaming definitely want to be closing out the series right here. We said they're the more consistent team, they're the better team on the day. Closing out the series 3-1 is very important for their way to the cup, for showing up for Worlds. And Leyan with a very bold choice to go for the Nidalee back-to-back. I'm actually glad that NIP believe in him on that pick.
I mean, and they also have better tools around it, it feels like. The Leona here is absolutely game changer in terms of getting those spear setups, getting the long distance engage. And we all know how dirty the Renekton Nidalee combo can be once they combine. The Braum going to be here, has a bit of a peel back tool for Weibo, and it looks like that's what their onus is going to be on, at least trying to get for the rest of their composition.
Now here's the drawback. You have prioritized, of course, top lane, jungle, and support. A lot of setup for Nidalee. That means rookies champions are gonna probably get trimmed off, particularly the Tristana, the Corki is still there. You do need things to gain some priority over that mid lane, over that Zeri, because it felt like with the Smolder in the mid lane, there were not many choices for Leyan to go for. You need that priority through mid to then bleed that Nidalee through the jungle and around the map.
And I know we still have a lot of picks for NIP, but if they aren't getting ahead with this composition, it's going to be really hard to fight a very team-centered comp that already Weibo have gotten for themselves. I do really like NIP's focus of the Tarzan special Sejuani to take away those like go buttons to counter what NIP have. But it's all about the damage profile that Weibo are centered on. It was the Ziggs, but then also the Kaisa banned away against the ninjas in Pyjamas.
Now hear me out. How do you like Poppy here, either for Tarzan or Bree? Every single champion on the side of NIP would be absolutely gutted to play into a Poppy. You stop so much engage, so much damage coming through from Nidalee as well as the Leona engaging. I feel like it would be a pick to look for, even towards the tops of the map if Tarzan doesn't want to pick it up in the jungle.
This has been left open. And it will be grabbed. All right, so we get the Lillia for the first time in the series, but there's a reason why it's been a prio ban, and the amount of tempo it gives you in the jungle and the amount of answers it'll give you into the Nidalee is actually really important to focus on.
Okay, so Weibo are going for a full pilling comp. There is no hard engage. You've got a Braum. Poppy is perfect for the R5. NIP have to choose the last 2 carries. Bot lane, of course, as an AD carry, and that mid lane. What is Rookie gonna choose to go for? Having the setup from the Jhin is great, and Photic has been excellent at playing all alone down the bot lane with the champion. But Rookie...
A Rookie classic. All right.
An oldie but a goodie. Okay.
So he was angry about playing all the ADs in mid. This time, gonna go with the AP setup here.
Poppy.
And
it's Poppy.
Really, really important to focus on that this could be a last game for NIP until the regional qualifiers, but it's also something of a miracle run they've been able to put together so far, now relying heavily on Leyan, one of the newer pieces, and Rookie on a classic pick for him.
And let's see. Breathe right here. Locks into Ksante. A little bit more frontline for Weibo Gaming. They do have a lot of squishy targets on their team together with the Braum. A very peeling composition, if you will, from Weibo Gaming that can't play from distance. You've got a bunch of poke coming in with the Lillia orbs and the Ezreal, of course, the Zeri 2. The Ezreal Volume 2, I should say, with the Zeri. Great stuff right here whilst NIP.
This latest run, his new addition, providing that stability, providing that centerpiece to enable Rookie and Photic, and now he's got to find it in him to make the difference here. It's game number 4, NIP's playoff lives on the line. Everybody still presenting very strongly for the teams, all the energy in the stadium. the energy in Zhuo. Shout out to all the fans making the trips out there for all the teams. Definitely some far trips to be had, but you're actually getting a little bit of spice here in the level 1. Everybody trying to contest for maybe a little bit of vision here, but Spear does connect early.
I feel like what is really scary for NIP is that usually compositions with double AD carry plus Braum are very easy to late invade you and sort of throw you off your game, and you definitely don't want to have this with Nidalee. However, right here, they did spot Crisp really early on, and they do have the chance to get their Nidalee completely unseen in the jungle. There's not a single ward into Leyan's jungle, so the Nidalee will be completely unspotted, but so will the Lillia from Tarzan. Not saying that. There you
A
go.
little bit of late vision there, I guess, by Shanji, as he will spot out the Krug's gone. So the start is obviously the Krug's spawning rather, not gone. And now you actually have to think about the mirrored starts for both these junglers, because we know that Leyan has typically liked to go early down towards bot side. He wants to connect with the pieces that make Nidalee strong early, and I love to see that adaptation from NIP.
There is actually so much setup around the map, right? Even Rookie after level 6 can set up. The Renekton Nidalee is a tale as old as time when it comes to setup. However, Ksante is not one of the easier champions to pin down, especially on red side due to that wall that has been added there when the map got restructured. It feels like one of the safest kind of champions to play onto that red side. But you do have a lot of setup if you get Zhuo around on the map with you, which is something that NIP did do over in game number 2.
Maybe not so the best.
Okay, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, maybe not so the best win-loss records there. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We saw that's been like the case this entire series so far. None of them have looked particularly good. Zhuo's, though, Leona still bringing up the masses there in the end. I do want to take a check-in on the culmination of these passes. We're going to be getting to them. It did look like in the end the level 2 and advantage had been completed. We see the cannon missed by light there. But it is also something where we could get major influence from both junglers early this time. It doesn't feel like it's going to be as lopsided as we've seen in the other games.
Now here's the difference, right? Tarzan is going to path towards that bot side. You've got priority right there with the Braum countering the Leona in lane, and you've got a lot of folk coming in from light, and there's a pretty beefy wave that they have managed to crash towards the bot side of the map. However, you do know that Nidalee will most likely want to play around that Renekton. Again, a lot of setup in the early game. If there is a chance that you have a wave and he is diveable and he's gotten a lot of poke, you can play through that. You do have the Scuttle Crab that Leyan can play around right now just to win a little bit more time in lane. As you can see, the pinks have already come through, and Shanji could potentially start pushing that wave in. It's not a beefy wave, so Leyan is just going to back instead.
I will say the reason I put so much emphasis on that setup is because, I mean, Tarzan is always going to be a problem in this game. And as time goes on, it's only going to get worse and worse. We saw what happens if Leyan just becomes Soraka bot from the jungle. So it's more so Leyan trying to keep his head above water in this game.
Let's see if he can actually do that. I mean, even going even at this point would be pretty good for the time being. However, Tarzan is not old.
That Unbreakable is going to block a ton of the damage that Photic's bringing through, though. They try to get the angle there. Leyan will be spotted out on the ward. Going to go for the early flash as Crisp getting out of dodge there. And Weibo stop Leyan's early ganks, but they still get the flash and the cleanses out.
Yeah, double summoners from Crisp as well. They could potentially pull a turnaround right here. Pull a croco, as I like to say, and just circle around that wall, around that bot lane tier 1 from Weibo Gaming and try to go around. However, the wave in the position that it is, it will be very difficult because Weibo Gaming is underneath their tower. So that will be it. A couple of summoners burned, though, for Weibo Gaming, and that's very important in terms of where Leyan paths next.
This guy, I talked a little bit about it, foreshadowed a bit. He's been on so many teams here recently, but he was obviously an IG stand-in, came up through the IG Young system. But he's been on Rare Atom for a long time. He was there almost 3 years. Then he went back to IG. Now he's on NIP to come in and try to save it. And even when he went back to IG, he was there to try to save the season. And a little bit like the trajectory of Tarzan, who was coming in to try to save Weibo in that offseason and maybe make a little bit of a difference for them.
And he absolutely has, right? This Weibo Gaming looks so much different than the spring iteration that we did see earlier on in the year. I think Breathe and Tarzan have literally restructured the way that Weibo Gaming likes to play. And it's very funny because when Tarzan jumped into Weibo Gaming, we expected it to be the Tarzan show. Everyone facilitates for Tarzan, everyone plays for him, help him carry, give him all the carry champions. And the poor guy could not 50-50 smite to save his life early on this season. I think it just became a reoccurring joke that he kept missing all the smites whenever he was contested. However, I feel like finding a 50-50 balance between him being the carry and also the facilitator with things like the Maokai and the Sejuani has worked wonders for Weibo Gaming.
Maybe not the Maokai this series, but in the past. It looked
yeah.
real rough in the last time around. Maybe a couple early those paths, maybe not going his way either. I do love this from Weibo, though, and NIP. They are continuously trading around the map, and this is the first time we're really getting that aspect of the game.
I don't want to see Nidalee trading. I want to see Nidalee fighting. I want to see Leyan getting down and dirty in these early fights. And Weibo, I've already started the Dragon, but NIP look like they do want to fight.
You want it? You got it. There's the spear connecting. They're on to Crisp right now, but he can't get the execution. Oh my god, that's a 4-man, 3-man looping lullaby there at the end, and now it's Weibo. Oh my goodness, the hell of a handbasket yet again. As Weibo come away with 3 unanswered by NIP as they take the Dragon as well.
I said I want to see him get down and dirty. I didn't mean in the mud.
That's what you gotta do when you get down and dirty. Those classic mud fights.
See, this is why they say context is very important when you say things. Context was not read right there by NIP. Disastrous fight for them, and Weibo Gaming strike back yet again, getting the kills on the targets that matter as well.
Yeah.
The triple carry that they have on the map managed to grab a kill and 2 assists each. I think Rookie whiffs the ultimate as well, unfortunately for him. And Rookie's 2-5-4, he's already gotten 2 stacks of the Braum passive for him. And they just go too far to try and kill Chris, where Tarzan finds the angle for a huge flash Q. And then Rookie kind of whiffing the ultimate right there, as we mentioned, solidifies the team.
Just again, it's raising the conversation of Weibo have an easily executable composition, and they are able to execute on it. You talk about all the veterancy on this team. You talk about the track record of this team. A majority of them having been in World Finals just last year. And you think about what that growth has meant for this team with that consistency coming more into line, and a lot of these pieces just showing off. They know how to take advantage. They know how to never let it go.
And this is the scariest part, right? We came into the series and we said, hey, Weibo Gaming doesn't necessarily get ahead a lot of the times at 15. It's about 40%, so less than half of their games they manage to get ahead at 15 in the early game. However, when they do, it's almost a 100% W for them. So they know how to close them out. They know how to play from a position of a lead. It's a case of you've been inconsistent for so long that you don't always get that lead. In this series, it's been true about their lead. Every single time they got it, they ended up closing out the game. They ended up choking an IP off of vision and just using the raw power through the ease of execution from the draft to just close it out.
Been really nice to watch, and NIP left wanting a little bit here. Azir pick maybe coming into question a little bit. It is a rookie classic, but we haven't seen it necessarily as proficient here in the meta itself. And that's also something to think about, as Weibo have just been playing so concertedly around the meta so well. Now, Tarzan has full advantage to just kind of push his face into the enemy jungle, see if there's anything to steal around, maybe make a bot lane play, as Chris will stop his back. He sees Tarzan coming over. Tarzan also has Lilting Lullaby, so this could just be a play as Leyan is coming over. Misses the swirl seed, so won't be able to follow through anymore. And here comes the Glacial Fisher to fight back. Spear gonna miss. Zhuo has to get out of there. Dead. Oh, at least maybe not gonna be able to get the curtain call combinations there. There's too many bodies in the way for Weibo. Gets the 4th shot on Tarzan anyways.
Everybody lining up from Weibo.
We saw Ruler like bend the
trying to
bullet a
save
couple
General
times.
Crisp. But that looked like it almost could go south for Weibo Gaming. NIP closed in super quickly. I feel when games go really rough, you look at the big names over on NIP. And by big names, I mean Rookie. I feel like Rookie has not let this team down. I just want to take us back over to spring 2024, just a couple of months ago, where he literally put one of the best performances we've seen to recent date from Rookie. His Talia, his quirky, trying to shove in his lane, play for side lanes, trying to get his other lanes ahead. It was a spectacular performance from the player. Unfortunately, not good enough if other members do not follow up. And this is why I've been so critical of NIP, because I'm like, you've got this. On a good day, you're the best macro the LPL has seen this year. And like, what is going on? It makes you kind of angry that this can't be replicable. However, Shanji in trouble.
Nice. And a little bit of deep doo-doo here. He's going to get a little bit of the combo out from Weibo, and Breathe will claim the kill now. Xiaohu flashing to get the dash over the wall, and we'll be safe.
Just about right there. NIP tried to hit back, get something on that, towards the top side of the map. Shanji doesn't have teleport, dead for another 10 seconds, and NIP are looking to contest.
NIP actually able to get the 4th grub, so they'll have the might spawn now, and they'll force Weibo out a little bit. They brought Photic over. Xiaohu is nowhere nearby, and that next grub will be secured by Photic in the end. I don't think Weibo wants to contest over here. They're going to try to move it a little bit, try to deny this, but they know he doesn't have smite. It's going to be taken by Light. Now Xiaohu has made his way over finally, and Photic is just Jhin, so there's no way he could get away. The kill goes over as well to Light.
All right, you sacrifice your AD carry, but you do get 5 Void Grubs, which will still give you the buff. You can still chunk down the towers pretty fast with those as well. Now, the question here is, I'm looking at Rookie, and I'm looking at the side lane threat here on the Azir. 5 Void Grub buffs. You've got the Azir. You're known for the champion as well. Rookie really has to make this commitment for the Void Grubs work for NIP, and he's already on his way, already shoved on the side lane, pressing towards the top side, some solo experience, gold, and very importantly, some tire platings to get back that gold lead from Xiaohu.
Get this Zeri down a little bit in any regard. Although that's been really hard to do this series, as Rookie will dash his way out of the Winter's Bite. Weibo, though, will be moving on to the dragon here. Will be a second dragon for them as well, and it's perfect timing because then they can reset or reposition for the Rift Herald on the other side of the map.
Now that's very scary, right? You mentioned the dragon. They've actually taken the dragons really quickly this time around from the sort of Weibo Gaming. They have invested time and effort for this particular neutral objective on the map, playing towards the bot side, and this will force NIP's hand at some point in time. In 10 minutes, if it continues like this, it will be sold for Weibo Gaming. And even though I did say that I would love to see Rook in a side lane creating problems, being a nuisance and taking towers down, of course, with the Void Grubs buff, if Weibo Gaming do threaten a soul, you're going to have to inevitably group, and I think it will be too early in the game to have any significance in your items.
Keep this, oh god, gotta keep as much momentum going as possible. They are gonna use that grub buff to try to take this turret up here and get all 5 of those plates. So Rookie able to even up a lot of that lead in the mid lane and see that take over his way once he's able to take this one down. That'll also be first turret over the way of NIP. So they're able to carve a decent amount of gold back. We are getting first item completions for a majority of everybody across the board as well.
And that is perfect. If you're a Rookie fan, if you want to see my Worlds, if you want to see him do better in the LPL overall, Photic, the true shot. Ooh.
Very close, very close. Photic did have the fleet footwork to get a little bit of health back. Uh-oh.
Oh, the TP flag.
What happens when you get a little bit cocky?
It's
Rookie! He's coming over like an RKO out of nowhere. There's a beautiful arcade shift from Light, but it does not matter. Rookie has found you, and NIP are on the board finally, 14 minutes in.
400 G's as well in Rookie's pocket. Remember, this guy, when he went onto the top lane, he was 600 gold down to Xiaohu. Now he's about 700 gold up. Tarzan might be in trouble here.
I think Zhuo might be in trouble. Spear's not going to connect.
Oh, it's the opposite.
The death wall is there. He's going to flash over, but Tarzan is very fast. Going to pop the lilting lullaby and has the cinders to pick up on the way. You can't run from Bambi when she's got lightning speed. As Rookie's now getting surrounded like sharks in a tank full of food. Weibo are, as they move with the minions here. The Rift Herald on the other side of the map I thought might be the play, and we'll see Weibo use a little bit of their confidence here to maybe not go for that.
Yeah, NIP overextending just a little bit right there. I feel like you need to take what you're given at this point and try to get as strong as possible onto this Azir. At this point, a lot of the picks that you have for NIP will fall off pretty massively. You're playing Jhin into a Ksante.
How dare you call that Jhin?
In your face. I mean, if you manage to kill Ksante in the late game, you know what? I'll take it back, Mazel.
It's not happening. It's not happening. I tell you that right now. Curtain call coming through, trying to weave it around to get Chris. And Tarzan doing a wonderful job. Needs to be a little bit careful. 4-shot does come through. And
Ooh, the TP bot,
yeah,
the TP
they got
bot.
Breathe over here, but he's actually getting Xiaohu's eye. Oh, really? He just gets snapped like Thanos. My goodness, Shanji comes down to try to provide some support, but things are going bad to worse down here in the bot lane for NIP.
Photic, Tarzan's looking for Photic. That's a flash.
He's going to flash away from the swirl seed. Does get burned down pretty heavily, but nicely played there. Will not have his only mobility tool available to him now, though, and that'll be punished.
But that is NIP losing on every front, right? They lost the mid lane tower. They have killed Rookie down the bot lane. They got the kill onto Xiaohu. Now, the gold lead is pretty much equalized between the two mid lanes. We have said how important it is to have that Zeri on your team. The entire series has been dictated. Whoever has the Zeri has actually won the game. This champion, if he does get ahead, it provides so much sustainable damage towards the later stages of the game, and especially having just a huge front line with the Ksante and the Braum. These two champions win you so much time and space in those fights to be able to put down your damage. So Xiaohu is going to be of pivotal importance in the team fights to come for Weibo Gaming.
He really will be capitalizing on any of the setup he can do is going to be the name of the game. NIP, they are not one to be resting on their haunches here, though, as they will be trying to move out towards this Rift Herald. They are just tickling him, and maybe he doesn't like being tickled. But the Rift Herald was kind of the move that they were trying to get around, but unfortunately they just don't have the damage profile right now to push up into the vision that Weibo have, and Weibo are just going to start that one up now.
Yeah, also it's very scary when Tarzan is 2-0 and 3 onto that Lillia. Leandra's completed, Merc's already completed. You definitely do not want to be walking into a level 11 deer when your cat has fallen behind yet again.
I feel like that in the Animal Kingdom that doesn't make sense, but I like it in the Summoner's Rift Kingdom.
All right, Xiaohu here reads the play, TP's at the back, tries to support Breathe, dives straight onto Rookie. Sees how low HP. That wall is also very facilitating for the Zeri as well. And if a W had connected there as well onto Leyan, we could have been seeing more plays coming through. However, this Dragon, very important for NIP. This is why they have already started it. But Xiaohu has no TP, and he's all the way at the top.
He buffed the lilting lullaby. You can't stop this deer. Chris gets the kill. Shanji's getting a 1v1 by Breathe, but he's going down. Solo Polo goes to Weibo, and now they're taking everything. You got one kill. What did it cost? Now you're 10 in the hole to Weibo, who are not letting up.
Tarzan absolutely ruthless with this engage.
Overextended. Xiaohu, he gets the shutdown over to Photic. That's going to be big, but it's paltry prizes right now for NIP.
Yeah, it's not going to be as big as what Weibo Gaming got out of this fight down bot lane. They've taken the entire jungle. They've gotten soul point for themselves. They've taken 2 kills away from NIP as well. And it's going to start becoming really difficult.
Oh, they know he doesn't have flash. They just got it off him a little bit ago. True Shot Braum comes over, but the burn is what gets him. Burn, baby, burn, says Tarzan as he goes singing into the enemy jungle.
He just keeps going. He knows he has light on his side. He sees Crisp coming from base as well. He's like, it's fine. As long as Tarzan has flash, he gets to play as aggressively as he wishes. They have to pull the TP from Rook and that mid lane tower to defend it as well. And here's where the conversation started with the Jhin. It wasn't necessarily a dig towards Jhin. It's about Renekton. It's about Nidalee. Those champions are not known for carrying your late game. Sure, Jhin will set up for your Nidalee, for your Renekton, for your Azir. But that's about it. When that Ksante walks up to the Jhin is rendered pretty much useless. You can tickle him, but you'll never kill him. Therefore, you are never posing a threat to Weibo Gaming. This is why they're just running NIP down. If NIP don't get ahead in the early, they do not win. And it looks pretty doom and gloom for the NIP match.
Unfortunately for Photic, he'll be setting up for Ghosts if the fights keep going the way that NIP have been fighting them. They do have 2 items now on Rookie. The Nashor's Tooth, Leandri's combo going to provide them a little bit more damage. They have, though, fallen down to a soul point to Weibo, who now will have all control about the decisions made around the map. And that is why we can praise so much of this Weibo turnaround. I mean, literally, the one game they looked really bad on was the Maokai game, where they didn't have really any proactivity to speak of. They didn't have any way in. They didn't have any big leads, and they gave up any advantage they had in the early parts of the game.
Yeah, and on the other side, I feel like you mentioned it, like Weibo went back to what worked for them. I am very confused here, and again, it has nothing to do with Leyan on the Nidalee, but when you're choosing such a pick, but then the composition looks a little bit like you should be playing towards topside, but you can't play towards topside because Ksante is open. But you know Ksante is open anyway, so it is a possible pick for Breed. That's why they kept it until R5. It's just, I feel like NIP today, overall in their drafts, they have absolutely not made it easy for themselves to play these games. And I'm not sure if the phrase is keep it simple stupid or keep it stupid simple, one of the two, but they haven't done that. They only did it once and they won, and they just haven't been able to replicate.
I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, yes, you're gonna have to make the run if you want to make it all the way to Silver Dragon Cup, but the gauntlet of the LPL playoffs is just not easy, man. It is so tough. We just talked about like this is the 4th best of 5. Like, do or die best of 5s. High stress, like your season is over, and especially to this point, they had to get those wins to get regionals. So you can see some of the stress maybe coming through, but maybe some of that is enough to turn it around. Oh god, the double TPs. Everything's turning red right now, and everything's turning up Weibo. Shanji's over here. He's all by himself, and he's going to be turned into a mount for the wall at the Weibo cabin. A triple kill for Light.
Light with the triple kill, diving into the fray, absolutely destroying Rookie and Weibo Gaming. The question was posed at the start of the day. Are you consistent enough to take down an NIP that's on a roll in playoffs? Are you consistent enough to take them down in your first best of 5 in playoffs? And Weibo Gaming have stuck a big fat yes on everyone's face.
Tarzan and Breathe, the prospects of saving this Weibo team coming into summer and try to find some more of those stabilities, try to find some more of the carry potential between these two. It has been nice to see them flex their muscles a little bit, especially in this game itself, but man, you can see it's just NIP desperation here, and they're just so far behind.
I just love how Light plays aggressive right there. He literally dives into the backline. He knows if I take Rookie out here, we win the fight. He is that one ray of sunshine for NIP. And if you are a believer, if you are a fan of NIP, if you remember the era of Counter-Strike with Get Right, with Forest, with Fifth Laren, with Exist, with Freiburg, the NIP Magic, the team that could come back from a 0-12 round deficit, you need to believe in them right now.
Xiaohu is going to be pounced on the side lane. Oh, no, Rookie. Okay, he finally gets it. I was going to say Zhuo trying to give it to him, but here comes the Rift Arrow play. They still had it, by the way, because it's only 23 minutes into the game. He just charged it into the wall there just to try to make sure he doesn't give his life in the end, because Dragon is coming up, and that would be a soul on an infernal Dragon Soul Rift.
And a lot of pull coming in from Weibo Gaming as well. Very easy ways to apply that Infernal Soul, as well as the TP's coming through from Rookie.
Instant flash by Rookie to get away from Breeze's setup there. He's trying to deliver him back to the team comp of Weibo. NIP, they do not want to give up position on this Dragon. Here comes the big combo. Here comes the massive lilting lullaby. It's going to get a couple there, and now Weibo, they're streaming forward. Light is still untouched, and look how much damage he does. My God, look to the east, because the light is shining, and it's another big moment for Weibo as they get a full, clean, total ace over NIP.
Every single member of Weibo Gaming has stepped up today. They've stepped up to take down NIP.
They have indeed, and all it takes is a couple more towers to burn, and Weibo, they will end the streak to the Dragon Cup for NIP, and they will move onwards to face off against Billy.
What a statement performance right here for Weibo Gaming. We had not seen them at all in playoffs. We did not know what they had to offer. We did not know how consistent they were, how they played the early games. We had so much sample size from NIP steamrolling 3 best of 5s back to back to back. And they looked scary. They looked like they were back, but today they looked lost. Weibo Gaming, with such incredible early games, to solidify their lead at 15 to then close it out. That's been some decisive early game moves. And again, mega props to Crisp and Tarzan that have
Absolutely.
made these early games happen for them.
That's the biggest point we have to hammer home here, is that these two guys had a hell of a series. Not only Chris consistently just outperforming Zhuo, but he is everywhere on the map. You have Tarzan, who after the Maokai game and before that was finding those proactive plays to pair up with Chris so often, and somebody has to find a way to put a stop to that. This literally was the conversation I was having about NIP throughout this entire playoffs, is at some point Leyan's consistency will